We're
Sit.
there.
Boom! Hey, YouTube, how's everybody doing tonight? It is the weekly AMA, giving us a chance to get caught up on all things Nexus. So thank you for being here tonight. And we're going to jump in with a couple things. This past Saturday, we did do a reveal for one of the crypto gods. We have another one coming up here next week or so as well. And of course, working on getting, there'll be two more left after that. And then, of course, the Bitcoin one, the final one, which we'll start doing drawings and that type of stuff. It's our goal in the next 6 to 8 weeks, maybe 10 weeks at the most, to get all that stuff wrapped up and put out there and get that completed as far as the delivery of them goes. And then, of course, continue to move the concept forward, build on the community side of it. Crypto Gods has already gotten involved in Otherverse, in Stardom, and in Muon and other token projects that it's decided that, hey, this is a good project to pursue, and it's gotten involved and is its goal is to build resources to then go out and make a difference in the crypto marketplace. So I'm going to tell a quick story here. So a friend of mine said, hey, there's a new token out. It's been out for about 7 or 8 days. You should check it out. I've already made some money on it. It went up quite a bit. I made 5x, 6x. So, I said, yeah, let me go check it out, look at it, go look at the charts. It's been buying and selling and trading and doing all this stuff. Oh, it's on CoinMarketCap. Okay. A few things were a little bit off on it, but a friend of mine recommended it to me, which is how most people in this marketplace gets ready to do it. I know he didn't just recommend it to me, he recommended it to a lot of people. And so I said, okay, I'll throw 0.3 BNB into it. And so I did. I had come back down and went up and came back down because people had sold off. And here it goes. I doubled my money. I tripled my money. I quadrupled my money. I 4 times my money. I 5 times my money. Last night, about 3 o'clock in the morning, because I wasn't using NSI yet, which will make it where I could go to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? And still have trades go through. I say, wow, I'm up 5x, 6x. Let me go ahead and exit out of this thing because I couldn't find that much on it. Try to sell. Set my auto slippage. Won't sell. Tells me my thing is not. Here's what happened, guys, is they took it, and for 10 or I don't remember if I had it set for 12, but at least 6 to 7 days, maybe 12 days, they had this thing trading where people could buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, built momentum up for it. And then finally, when the momentum got big enough where they could walk away with 6 figures by doing what's called a backdoor rug pull, they didn't pull the liquidity. The liquidity was locked. They basically had enough of the tokens in wallets that they controlled, and they had a special mechanism in the contract that they knew the formula for selling those. And they trained it, took it from a $1 million market cap all the way down to just a few $1,000s. And basically, there goes my 0.3 BNB. It's a great lesson to learn that this space is tough. And it needs projects like Crypto Gods that are going to stand up and like Nexus ecosystem, like TruBadger, that are going to say, hey, we need to fix the industry, right? This needs to turn around. We've got to educate people that, good person recommends a project to me, good friend of mine, I'm out 0.3 BNB. Now, that's not a lot, but what if I would have put 30 BNB in it? What if I would have said, oh, man, my buddy told me about it. Let me put 10 BNB in. Right now, I would have thought, wow, I'm up 50, 60 BNB. Let me pull some off the table, and I wouldn't have been able to sell it, and I would have been out all of the money that I had put into it. That's what's so important about the Nexus ecosystem. It's not just about us getting involved and saying, wow, I've made this much money, I benefited this much from on a digital asset basis from being involved in this. It's about finding great projects that not all are going to succeed. Some projects are going to make it, some aren't going to make it, but we at least know that there's a team behind it that's going to do everything possible in order to make sure that it has the best chance possible. Now, These are projects, whether it's MMAC with the film and with the game and all that stuff. That's a huge endeavor. They're moving things forward. They're doing stuff in the background. I talk to them every week. They have not stopped, quit, done anything. They're still hammering out and still moving that project forward, whether it's Otherverse. Oh my goodness gracious, the stuff that's going on in the background. As I said, I'm going to show you guys the new NFT site. They put it off a couple of weeks. I'm going to show you what you'll actually get from participating in just the first airdrop. And then, of course, from there, you can decide what that potential looks like, with Otherverse being a successful metaverse in there. You know, it's interesting. So Sharona called me before this. She said, Peter, a couple of people had mentioned to me about, you know, we keep talking about star babies, star babies, star babies. You see behind Rhonda is, or Corey Moran Rhonda, right? You see, right, that it's star babies right now. Why are we focused on star babies? Because that is the project that we're fully focused on, because we create value in star babies. We create value in TruBadger and all the other projects that we're doing. The success of that project leads to us getting other projects and launching other successful projects, which then allows us to create what? More digital resources, more digital assets that then are on our books, which then gives us the ability to what? Find and get involved in other projects. The idea behind Nexus and TruBadger is to make a safe place where you can come and say, there's a project coming out. It is at least going to be a real project. Again, never guarantees for any success of anything, but you know, at least it's going to be a real project. It's not going to be a 7 or 14-day rug pull where it's just going to go to zero and I'm completely out my money, right? I just went through this, guys, where it was there. It wasn't a Nexus project. We didn't get a chance to talk to the founders of the project. We didn't know what was behind it. Just a quick tip from somebody, and boom, here I am 24 hours later, 0.3 BNB poorer than I was before. And the bad part about it is I thought at one point I had almost 2 BNB, right? Because it was going up, going up, going up. Oh my goodness, a couple BNB. This is fantastic. And I wasn't going to sell all of it. I was going to pull a little bit of my 0.3 BNB back out and then keep watching the project, because supposedly it was this phenomenal wallet and it was going to do all this incredible stuff. And, you know, it was going to change the world, and sub $1 million, right? If it's a great wallet, it could go to 50 million, 100 million, who knows, right? What that market cap could look like, and not make a 5X, but maybe a 50 or a 500 or a 1000X, right? On it. So this is a space that has the technology, has a tremendous amount of value that it can bring to us, to you, to your grandkids, to your kids, to your friends, to your family, to the entire world, right? Society, we've talked about it in the past, raising people out of poverty, right? Taking people in countries that have no rights to land they've lived on for 200 years maybe, and being able to document, prove that they own it, allowing them to then possibly sell it, borrow against it, and move up in the world. Digital sovereignty. Right now, we are controlled by large corporations that control our data. Data breach here, Let me ask you a question, guys. In the last 5 years, can you remember and call out 1 month that there was not a major data breach from somebody? In just the last week, I've gotten 3 different things in the mail for companies that I've done business with, that lawsuits are being settled. One of them was just recently for $300 million, right? Ooh, I looked into it. I get $25 back, right? Oh my goodness. Wow. Let me fill out the paperwork and get it sent in for my 25 bucks. Because, you know, the lawyers, of course, are making 100 million off of it, right? Because they're going to take a big piece of it for running it. And, you know, my data was breached, but, you know, getting $25, right? I don't know if it's fair or not fair, whatever it is, doesn't matter. But here's this concept and this idea. It shows you, and I'm not saying it from the data breach side, it shows you, though, how valuable information is, right? It shows you what can be done with this information and what's being done with the information all the time. And so if I had, so whose information is that, right? So what we've done as a society up to this point is we said, well, if you let me post on Facebook for free, I'll let you own my pictures. I'll let you sell my information. I'll let you market to me. I'll let you do all that stuff for free. Guys, I'm ready to start paying for all that stuff, right? I'd rather pay $2.99 a month to be on a social media platform that I want to be on and then own my, but do I need to pay? Oh, maybe there's a social media platform that could be developed or built where I give permission to sell my information and I get to use it for free. But then I also get paid if they extract $1,000, let's say, a year off of my information and my data. Maybe I split it with the platform. I get 500, you get 5, or they get 500 to run the platform, and now I got usage for free and I made money off of it. These are the types of things that crypto, blockchain, and all this stuff can bring together. So I was listening to somebody who is supposed to be a Web3 expert. That's what they said. He's written a book on it, right? I mean, if you wrote a book on it and you spoke at a couple events, you've got to be an expert. You've got to be a part of that. And he says, in order to understand what Web 3.0 is, he goes, first of all, you need to know what it's not. And the next words out of his mouth, I literally just about fell out of the chair, right? He says, it's not crypto and it's not blockchain. Now, in a way, you could say that Web 3.0 is not only crypto, it is not only blockchains. I think actually he said crypto and NFTs. I think that's what he said, crypto and NFTs. It's not only that, but that is a key part of the blockchain, right? Cryptocurrency, the representation of it, NFT, a tool. So an NFT is a tool within the blockchain and within cryptocurrency in order to allow for Web3 to develop and come together. Web3 is crypto, the blockchain, NFTs. It is the metaverse. It is digital sovereignty. It is the power going from centralized to a decentralized networks that will be more secure, that will have more control over us. All of this is part of Web 3.0. That is the area where Nexus ecosystem, TruBadger, and all the other projects that we're working on, that is what we're moving towards. Now, is it here today? No. Web 3.0 is just beginning. The metaverse is just beginning. You guys saw, right? Because I know you guys look at the news like I do, right? You saw how Mark Zuckerberg is apologizing, right? Basically saying, don't worry, my avatar is not going to look like Barbie, right? Because that's what they said. There were posts put out there that Mark Zuckerberg's NFT, we could pull it up, right? His avatar kind of looked like Barbie. They put them compared next to each other. Yeah, they had a point, right? It could be that his NFT was, or his avatar was Barbie, right? But when you begin to look at it, I want you to think of Web 3.0 without blockchain and without NFTs. It's a video game skin that's only good in that one environment. The cool thing about the blockchain and crypto is that it allows it to go from one environment with security, safety, with the knowledge that it's one of a kind, right? And then go into other environments and be utilized and function in those environments. And you can know that it's still me, right? So it is a necessary part of it. It's so many people are only in crypto because it's going up in value, right? We know this for sure, because I got to tell you, if you look at the environment during the bull run, when it's green, 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 tons of people piling into it. And then now you look at a bear market where it's going down, and now it's like for every 20 people that were piling into it before, there's one maybe, right? Or maybe more exiting than are entering. Then you look at it and you say, why are people here? Because if you believe in the technology, if you believe that it is going to change the world, then you would be in just as much now as you were when it was going up. Because you know it's not where it's going, it's only on the way there, right? So, and I'll give an analogy of a surfer, right? Surfer paddles out. What is the surfer trying to do? Get in, behind the wave, right? And then ride the wave in, right? They're trying to get out. So when the wave comes in, they get with the start of the wave, they get their balance, and then the wave builds and they build with the wave. What people are trying to do is they're trying to get and start in the middle of the freaking wave. The wave's already 70 feet tall and they're paddling towards the 70-foot wave going, I'm going to catch that wave. That ain't the way it works. It's not the way it works in business. It's not the way it works in, I'm going to use the real estate market because it's so beautiful. It just happened, right? There were people, their houses, oh, my house is worth 500, 600, 700,000, 800,000. Oh my God, look, it's going up. It's going to go up next month. It's going to keep going up. And then all of a sudden recession comes in and houses stop selling. And now all of a sudden green arrows, prices are starting to come down a little bit, and what are they going to do? They're going to adjust back down. So there was somebody who bought the house a month ago, 2 months ago, paid top dollar for it. In the next 3 or 4 months, they will be $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 in the hole. Now, here's the difference in real estate. If you did that in crypto, you go, oh, let me sell my crypto and take the money back out. It ain't that easy to sell a house. So most people will probably keep it, give it a chance to recover, unless we have a 2018 crash where the prices go down, 30, 40%. And then people go, oh, I'm upside down. It'll take 15 years for me to get it back. So then maybe at that point they move out and they go figure something else out, right? But a 10, 15, 20% adjustment. So again, guys, you should not be in blockchain cryptocurrency NFTs unless you believe in the long-term prospect of what it is going to do as a technology. You shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be and I'm not just talking about our tokens. I'm talking about any tokens, anything. The chances of you making money in it, unless you believe in the long term of it, are slim to none. Because if you're chasing the bull markets, at some point your bull turns to a bear. You think it's going to recover and you put more and you buy more. Eventually you end up either going back to where you started or below, and you end up losing money. And that's why people don't end up benefiting from stuff. So it really is this. I think every person on here that's going to watch this in replay, that's going to watch it anywhere, the number one thing that you need to say is, where do I think the blockchain, where do I think crypto plays a part in that? How do I see it? And do I see 3, 5, 10 years down the road? Give you some great examples. There were people in 2009, 10 that said Bitcoin deflationary, right? Or a set amount. This is going to be something that could possibly replace the US dollar. At that time, that was a crazy thought, right? I don't mean replace it completely. It will be an alternative currency. And they said, let me get involved in it, because they believed in the concept, the idea of a digital currency that was safe, secure, limited in what the production can be, was going to be put out over time. And there were some people who got it and said, oh my goodness, it went to $1 and then came back down to 30, 40 cents, wherever it came to, right? Just, making up, coming up with numbers. And they said, oh, I'm getting out of it now, man. I made 4 times my money, 3 times my money. There were other people who said, no, I really believe in this. And they stayed in it and they kept accumulating, and they actually got more. And then it went to $100 and then came back down. And they didn't say, oh, I'm getting out of it. They kept getting more because they believed in the long-term potential. They could have sold out and went on a vacation. They could have sold out, bought a car. They could have sold out, did whatever. But no, they said, no, I'm holding on to this and I'm going to continue to. And then it went to 20,000. There's some people that said, oh my goodness, it's going back down. They got out of it. But the people that stayed with it, that understood that it wasn't going to, the 20,000 was not going to be its high. Now its high was 60,000. It's back down to 21,000. Right? So this time it's a little bit above the high it got to last time before this last $60,000 high. What is the next level that it goes to, and where is that, and where are you going to be when that takes place? A lot of us will say, oh yeah, I saw it. And I hear the stories all the time. Corey's not here tonight, right? Because he had a family event. But he'll tell you, 7 years ago when he was into it and got away from it. All he had to do at that point, it was, I believe, less than $100. All he had to do was put $2,000-$3,000 into it and just let it sit there. Forget that he owned it. I think he said it was $90 or something like that, right? Okay, and now it's 21,000. So, $2-3 grand would have bought 20 or 30 of them. That would be worth $400,000-$600,000 today. We were looking at the other day, and it got, by the way, guys, if you have a question, put it in the Q&A. We'll be glad to answer the questions. I'm just going to talk a little bit until we do, then we'll look at the site. We were looking at we were looking at CryptoPunks the other day. Were we not, guys? We pulled up CryptoPunks and we looked at it. There was a month when CryptoPunks got to, I think it was $70 or $80. 2,100 people sold their CryptoPunks in that month. There was another month. It went from I think it was $100 something down to like 70 or 60 or 80. And another 2,100 people sold those. And they minted them for 11 cents, or maybe they bought them for $200, right? This is back in 2018, 2019, because CryptoPunks didn't start, by the way, guys, in 2020 when it really grabbed a lot of value. It actually started 3 years before that, right? I know. Oh my God, you had to wait 3 years for your CryptoPunk to be worth $3 million? That's disgusting. I can't, that's unheard. There's no way I'm waiting 3 years for my project to be worth any money. No way. If it ain't worth something in 72 hours, it's dysfunctional. It's bad. It's terrible. I got to get away from it. Run! Right? So again, the people that are doing something in this industry, that in this space, guys, are the ones that understand and they're patient. And they look at projects, they look at the industry, they look at the technology, and they say, hey, it's going to change things. So you know I love to go and look at the past, right? So let's look at the .com days, right? You could have bought before the .com bust, during the .com bust, and for a couple of years after it, invested $10, $20, $30, $40,000 and would be phenomenally wealthy today. Now, you guys heard what I said. Invest it before the burst when it was near the top of its market share, during the bust when it was crashing, and then the next few years after it came back. And here it is 22 years later, right? After that happened, and you would be phenomenally wealthy. Well, guess what? We know you would have lived this long because you're still here, right? And it would have changed your life forever. You wouldn't be, well, guess what? Another 5 years, another 10 years. The making of that right now is the decisions in what we do today, right? That's what's going to determine whether you're sitting here in 5 years and you're at that thing. So Kathleen is asking, what about Solar, crickets from them? Yeah, they're pretty quiet, guys. Their main project, and again, business is business. They haven't gone yet. They're still working. They're trying to figure out most of their, and you guys know because you paid in it, right? When you paid for that NFT, it was paid in USD, which was Solar. Luna, right? It was Luna's stablecoin. A few months ago, Luna's stablecoin, a big lesson for myself You have stable coins that are backed by matching assets. And then you have what are called, we're going to learn something here today, guys. You have what are called algorithmic stable coins. That says that there's this mathematical algorithm that's made that balances out the price of it. It's supposed to bring stability to it. More, less supply, it adjusts things and all that stuff. Guys, I got to tell you, I will not, up to this point, and there's none that I've looked at, I will not own or buy algorithmic stablecoins. Okay? Luna showed you exactly what can happen to an algorithmic stablecoin. And so since, and let's get back, I don't want to get too far off, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. Since Solar was holding most of their assets in that, they have to revamp. They have to redo the model. Last time I talked to him about 4 weeks ago or so, and we will follow up with him. Thank you for bringing up the question. Thank you for pointing it out. We got a lot of stuff going. It's hard to remember, you know, but we will send out a message to them and we will follow up with that. And we'll get you guys an update for next week. Rhonda, if you could make a note for us to reach out to them, and we'll get you an update next week on where they're at right now. He told me last time I talked, it was, you know, 3-4 weeks out before they would have the new software done, you know, what they were working on and getting that launched and getting that move forward. So, but we do know they're still working on it from that side. So we will get that to you. So again, guys, it would be like having, you know, money to run the project you're doing, and then that money becomes, because it didn't go down a little bit, right? It's not like it went down 2% or 5%, right? It went all the way from $1 all the way to point, I think it was 5 zeros and a 4, right? Or some crazy number, right? I mean, it was a dramatic drop, 90%, 99% plus drop in the value of Luna itself. And I think the stable coin went down to 2 or 3 cents, right? And these are just guess, you know, I'm not looking at the data. So I have to kind of go from there. So again, it's not gone. It's not over with. They're going to still move that forward, but that's the state of that one right there. And I'm glad that we were only, you know, had worked with one project that had anything to do with USD or Luna, okay? Because that was a crazy thing. Now, here's a crazy thing in the marketplace, guys. I want to talk about this because we've got to take emotion out of our decisions and start using ones. Luna says, oh, we're going to launch another one, right? And they launch a new Luna, and here it is. People support it. They get on board with it. I'm sorry. I'm only going to give you one chance for me to support what you're doing. And then if what you do not go down in value, because everything's down right now, right? A lot of NFTs, crypto, the whole thing, it's going to go up and down. But when you have a project that you built and it's down 97, 98, 99%, right? And it's not, you know, it's because of the math you did. So here is the issue. Luna built the technology and the math for it, and that math failed. And what happened when it did fail is where the real issue lies, right? They had tons of assets. In order to try to save the stable coin, they cashed in all those assets, impacted the entire crypto market. So it's their behavior, it's what they did along the way that is on that. So anyway, that's just, you know, again, these are my opinions, right? Other people have other opinions. Other people decided to support that. Any word on how Mixed Martial Arts Club is doing? My wife was asking. Yeah, guys, it continues to move forward. We had them on, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. Actually, maybe less. Was it 3 weeks ago? We even had Randy on. Randy came on a call and talked for a few minutes, right? That was just recently. Guys, they're working away. Storylines, comic book stuff. The easiest way, really, guys, to keep up with this is to join their Discord. They're very active in their Discord. We can't cover every project every week here. And that's why they have their own social media. If you're in a project, I would follow that social media. I believe, and the reason why I was talking to us about Solar, they've been pretty quiet on their social media as well. revamping and doing things. But Mixed Martial Arts, they're very active on their social media. So Christopher, I would say, go get part of their Discord. Guys, if you're not on Discord and you want to stay plugged in, I would definitely get on Discord, become a Discord member, learn how to utilize it, learn how to get around it. And the reason why I say that is the safest way to be part of a community is Discord. We tried Telegram, and so many people were getting, a lot of projects are like, look, guys, and I was talking with somebody not too long ago, and they're like, well, if you guys aren't active and have an active open Telegram group, it's hard to be a successful crypto project. But I would rather it be harder, right? And us have to work more to make this as successful as it's going to be and not have people get scammed. Too many people. If you're running an active Telegram group, it's ripe with it. I mean, the more active the Telegram group is too, the more people get scammed. And so we decided Discord is a much better way to go. It's safer. It's more of an environment where we're at. So, okay, Jeff and Wendy asked about SpyWolf. SpyWolf is auditing a contract for us right now. They continue to audit contracts. They're continuing to move their project forward. Of course, that wasn't one of our projects. They were just a partner of ours. And they just did the security on the audit on the new SAFUFIed staking contract. They just did it on NSI. So they continue to audit our projects. We recommended them to a friend project of ours, right? Another project that we're working with for them to use. So we continue to support what they're doing, and they're continuing to improve their services and continue to move forward. Can we help buy again in another token?
I think you were talking about Solar at the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, guys, we won't do anything with Solar until they figure out exactly what their plan is and where they're launching from there, right? So, and they're working on it, and we will get a follow-up on that side of it. Okay. Is Green Citizen still happening? Yes, it's still happening, guys. It's right now. We can't do 12 things at a time, right? We need to focus. Our focus right now is on Stardom. It takes a lot of effort. I think that's one of the things that it's hard to see. And it's not anybody's fault. It's just hard to see how much work goes into these projects, on a daily basis. It's not like you spend 5 minutes a day on Stardom Chance, right? Right now we're spending, and we're talking about the entire team, 12, 14 hours a day working with influencers, working with, graphics and software, and trying to build out this into the success that it has the potential and will become as we move through this process. And so it's definitely going to happen still. They're actually, the reason why it has slowed down a little bit is actually on them. They're working on their engineering to get the first machines to roll off. And I actually like that, because by the time, so it was going to be, we were going to do the NFT, and then a month or 2 months later, the machine was going to roll off. The way it looks like it's going to work now is the machine, I believe, will come sometime in September. We'll probably end up doing the NFT towards the end of September, October, and then the machines will already be coming off the line. So as soon as the funds come in and it's successful, then we'll be able to get a machine into action right away. So instead of waiting 2, 3, 4 months for that machine to go into operation, it can be much quicker, bringing value again to the members, right? To that side of it. Question about developments of SAFUFIed. Is there any news on the project update? Yeah, guys, we're working on some stuff right now in the background in order to come up with some new services, new products, new things that we can offer through SAFUFIed, and a lot of potential there that's coming together, but we're working on those in the background. Right now is not a time, guys, to really launch a token. We've actually gotten involved in a couple of ones that have launched recently. One of those is Muon. Another one is Reveal 3, where they said, hey, we'll let you guys in on a small amount, which the projects bought them. by the way, if you're holding TruBadger, you're in these projects. If you're holding TruBadger, TruBadger holds Muon tokens. If you're holding TruBadger, it holds Reveal tokens. If you hold Crypto Gods, you hold Muon tokens, right? In a sense, because the project has those tokens on board. So I'm not talking about me personally, like Peter Gantner got in it, you didn't get in it, right? We're in it together on those side of it. The key is those things are not, they're actually going down instead of up. So, you know, you get them for 2 cents, let's say, and they're worth a penny and a half. Now, that doesn't mean it's bad, right? Because in the situations that they were in, you could only get very small amounts. We were able to get bigger amounts for the projects and do that type of stuff. So there's still good things that are going on. So right now, we're just developing in the background, continuing to move forward, continuing to go. And our number one goal right now is to build digital assets, resources for the projects so they're financially solid. And then when this continues to develop out, when things like Otherverse, the new version launches sometime October, November, and there's a metaverse there. And since we've been involved in the project, we're able to leverage that relationship, right? Because we help make it happen. And it opens up opportunities for us to get exposure to our brands. You guys know that if you go to the Otherverse website, Nexus ecosystem is right there on the front page, right? It's right there, the logo and everything else. Right now, not a lot of traffic going there because but once they launch beta and there's 1 million users, 5 million, 10, 20, 50 million users, these things will pay huge dividends. It's just patience, right? Patience, 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 patience. All right. So let's see. Question about development Safufa. Is there, okay, we already answered that one. That question's here twice. Okay. Let's see. Update on the Meta District monthly tokens. Yeah, guys, we are working on that. So of course, the 2 of the months are tokens we haven't launched yet. We can't send those out because we've done that. We're working through some stuff to figure out what we can do there. We're not launching any new tokens, so it's hard to be able to do that. So we are working on that. We'll get an update out to everybody on that here very soon. Just know that every month that you're there, you will end up getting some assets. It's just harder to do right now when we're in a bear market and we're not launching, right? By now, we should have been doing a new project every month, which made the idea and the concept of digital assets very simple and easy. So just know that you have a bank of digital rewards coming. And when we're able to, because we're doing enough projects to make that happen. Right now, most of our projects are NFTs. We can't say, here's a $250 NFT for your month. So there's some stuff we're working on there where we'll get that up to date and get that caught up. Look, guys, I got to tell you, we wouldn't have launched Safufi token in December if we thought we were really in a bear market. You know, we knew there was an adjustment at the time, but it had only come down a small amount. If I knew we were going to go back to a $600 billion total market cap for all tokens at one point, we would have done things differently. But I don't have a crystal ball. You can't see that. So you do what you do until, you know, and then make adjustments along the way. And that's what we're doing, is making these adjustments, moving things along. And again, continuing to create value in the background. This is not a short-term thing. You shouldn't get in any project short-term. Everything should be, you know, I think this project in 3, 5, 10 years is going to be successful. And so I want to be there when it's successful. And that's that for me, at least, that's what you want to do. It's not about 3 weeks or 7 weeks or 15 weeks. It's not like, hey, I've got to pay for something in 2 months. Let me put some money in crypto. And hopefully I'll make some money off of it. If you need that money before the next couple of years, I wouldn't even consider doing it at this point. Keep it where it is, and you know, whatever currency it's in or whatever asset it's in, because again, we don't know where things are going. I'm not in control of where the market goes or who gets involved and all that stuff, right? Even Sam Bankman, the FTX kid, right? He's talking about spending $1 billion, right? That's still not enough to have an effect on the market, right? When you look at something that's, a $1 trillion market cap of all the cryptos, you're talking about 1% of the or less than 1%, sorry, 1/10 of a percent $1 billion is. So, and all I know is this, guys, I have amazing confidence that blockchain, cryptocurrency, NFTs, Web 3.0, the metaverse is going to change the world, and it is going to create more value on this planet than even the web launching, right? That first Web 1. And Web 2.0, more value is going to be created in Web 3.0, I believe, than in those two. And I want to be a part of it. And I have the patience to wait it out and have it all come together and be there. Okay. Where will we see our star babies once minted? In your wallet, Christopher. So we have your wallet addresses. If you got them through Catapult Swap, when they mint, just like anything else, those will get dropped. We'll of course have a day, right? So just like we did this past Saturday, we'll have a reveal day where you'll be able to see whether you got one with a gold statue in its hand or any of the other benefits that are there, and putting that together. So that'll be very similar to what we've already done with all that stuff. If I get a Star Babies NFT, can I say I'm a movie producer when talking with chicks? Drew, you can definitely say you're involved in Hollywood. And by the way, guys, if you get certain ones, right, and you're part of it, you get an IMDb credit, let's say, because you're, maybe you're put down an executive producer, maybe you're a producer, whatever it is. You say, hey, here's my IMDb profile, and you see a couple films there. That might get you lucky with the chicks there, Drew. I think chicks are more interested in worms and bugs rather than you, but who knows, right? I think you were talking about chickens, right? Not right, the little baby chickens or chicks. That's what you were talking about, right? Let's see. Is TruBadger still going to list its treasury assets on the website? Yes, when it's time, guys. At some point we'll sit down and gather them all together, and they'll be listed there, at some point in time here in the future. And it'll probably be as we build and develop and get more resources, and we're able to put together a bigger team. And we can put somebody on that project that can go through, list out all the different stuff, go through all the wallets, and get all that stuff put together. So over time it will. It's very fluid right now, right? Because we have to perform certain things for projects in order to get the assets. Like at one Star Babies is successful, we'll get so many Star Babies, depending on how successful that is. Depends on how many Star Babies we end up with. And then once that's done, we have to sit down and look at where everything came from. Some of those Star Babies will go to different places, and then there'll be so many that will stick with TruBadger, and then those will have to go into that vault. So we are working on it. It's just, and I know for a lot of people here, it's a priority. It's just not a priority to me because I'm the one that has to put the time and the effort and the energy into it. And right now, my effort and energy is into building as many digital resources for us, so someday I can wake up and my phone is blowing up and I pick it up and it's Mama Star Baby and she's telling me that TruBadger just went over $1 billion market cap, and I should go look, or somebody just bought a Star Baby for 42 ETH or something like that, right? That's my focus, is on driving this thing to where we can create a tremendous amount of success. Did TruBadger get into the roundtable meeting? Stan, I don't know. You'll have to explain that more on that side of it. So I don't know the roundtable meeting, what you're referring to there. What about Legends Unchained? Their Discord is really quiet. Do you know what is happening? Guys, I have not touched base with them. They decided to go in another direction. and not utilize the community in order to launch. We wished him success. So I have not kept up with it. It's enough for me to keep up with the projects that we're doing. They're great guys, and I think they've got some great potential there. But this is a rough market right now, guys. When we first talked to them, it was back the end of last year. And when things go from you have to understand, and I know everybody's doing their thing, right? We're fully ingrained in this. Every day, my days are spent in this. When there is a dramatic difference in building something in a bear market and in a bull market, and we've done both now, right? The challenges are not 5 times, it's 50 times harder to build something in a bear market than in a bull market. Now, here's the benefits though. What's done in a bear market has the chance to 50, 100, 200, 300, 500x. What's done in a bull market might 3, 4, 5x, right? In that perspective of what's created because of the timing and everything else. So it's harder to do it, but the reward is greater there. CNP token launch. Guys, we're not launching any tokens right now. As I said, we've gotten involved we as Nexus has gotten involved in several projects. And, let's say we put in $100 into it, it's worth 60 right now, right? So, and people just can't handle that. I'm going to just be flat out honest with you. And 90% of the people out there, if they put in $100 and 3 days later, it's worth 50 or 60, they're going to cash out and drive it down to 40 or 30, right? And so it's a self-defeating prophecy in order to, against it we're fighting against ourselves in order to do anything like that, okay? So right now, it's TruBadger, NSI, and Safufied. NSI is the real bright spot, guys, where we're at. It is very close. It is actually taking trades now. We're looking at that. It is going to be the absolute top of the line, decentralized trading bot that's in the marketplace. I don't think, and again, I know there's, other centralized trading bots like Digibot, but NSI, I don't know of anything else that has its power and its potential in the DeFi space. And to be honest with you, it could be the project that gives fire back and energy and brings back to the whole system. I'm hoping, guys, 2 or 3 weeks away from that being able to launch and be ready to go. It's probably a few days away from being able to do alpha testing. So I'll go through that real quick. Alpha testing is internal testing, a very small group flows, and then we'll go to a closed beta, which will be people that we know and trust that will test it. And then you'll go into open beta. That's not going to happen in 5 minutes, right? It's going to take a little bit of time, but that is moving in the right direction. Very excited about that. It definitely took a lot more than we originally thought, but it's definitely worth the wait on where it's at. So real quick, guys, I'm going to jump into give me a second. Go ahead, Rhonda. You can update people on what you need to update on.
Great. Thanks. I know where you're going, and so this is tied to it. So we just want to bring you up to speed on the changes at the Otherverse with regards to their the FNFT launch. So Dawn wanted to make sure we told you that if you are still wanting to register, you do have a short window. It is going to close next Monday, not this Monday, but the following Monday on CNP. Pardon me, on Catabalt Swap. And because we then turn all of that data over to the guys at the Otherverse on Wednesday so that it can be fed into the system. So there is still time to get your commitment into Catabalt Swap. And oh my goodness, when you see all this, you're going to want to make sure you do that. So please keep in touch with the others, either through the others Discord group or through the Nexus Discord group. Dawn put in an update with specifically to the Otherverse tonight for everybody regarding that timeline for us. Okay. So
Awesome. Very, very good. So guys, I want to go through what you're going to get. So the mint is going to be 0.35 ETH. Okay. Right now, that's probably $450, $500, somewhere in there. Maybe a little bit more. What is it? 1,600. I don't know what's 0.35 of 1,600. So maybe a little bit more, maybe around $600 for the process. Okay. So what are you going to get for that? First of all, the first thing you're going to get on the first mint is this trunk. There's 3,333. 333 are being used for giveaways, treasury, that type of stuff. So ultimately, there'll be 3,000 available for it. You will decide whether you want a male or a female trunk, okay? And that'll be this black trunk, or there's a pink rosy colored one, right? Beautiful. This is it. Now, you're going to get to keep this trunk. It will be yours. It's part of your thing. There'll only be, again, 3,333 of these trunks. However, once you've minted this trunk, you're like, well, it's a beautiful trunk, but you know, $600 just for a trunk, that could be considered a little bit expensive, right? I don't know, because there's crazier things that are out there. So having this trunk is going to allow for you to automatically, no funds out of your pocket, no additional other than the minting fee, to then go mint the second mint, okay, which is going to be clothing, jewelry, makeup, facial hair, all of these special limited edition. So the shirt you get there will not be able to be purchased in the primary sources. You'll have to go to the secondary market. That'll give you additional. So you still have the trunk. Now you have the clothing. Now you have some facial hair or a makeup thing or whatever it may be. And now you have some special jewelry. Now, here's the cool part about it, guys. I'm like, well, how the heck are people going to know to want to buy possibly my clothing or my thing? Well, these clothing and this jewelry will have special particle effects. And I'm like, well, what's a particle effect? Well, you guys right now are looking on the screen. This is, by the way, up on Otherverse.io, right? You just go there, you click on FNFTs if you want to show this to somebody, okay, and go through here. But what'll happen is, imagine being at and I'll just make up a name, a Justin Bieber concert, right? And everybody's dancing and all this stuff, and you break out your clothing that has this particle effect, and like 100 people around you are like, man, that's the coolest particle in the world. Where'd you get it? Well, as part of the NFT drop, and you had to be part of that drop in order to get this specific particle. And somebody goes, man, I'd love to get that NFT. You can, if you want to, on the secondary market, sell them just that NFT, just that one. You can still keep the trunk. You can keep maybe the watch you got and all this other stuff. Remember, this is the Genesis series. Some of you guys are going, man, I can't wait to play in the Otherverse. The first beta people, the first people to come in and use the world and be a part of it are going to be these FNFT holders, right? This is all on the website now. They got it up here. It'll walk you through. Okay, I don't want to go down that far yet. It'll walk you through in here the exactly what you're going to get. We'll go down further because it shows you that type of stuff there on where it is. But I'm going to go to, okay, so now we've had the first.
I have a prediction, Peter, if I can. I just have a prediction real quick. I'm just going to say that if I'm at a Justin Bieber concert or whatever, and I'm wearing that outfit, or, well, he wouldn't do that. If I was wearing that, if the guy who had that outfit on, Justin Bieber would buy that outfit from you on the spot in the middle of the concert because it's so freaking cool. And he would say, oh, he'd stop like in the middle of a song and go, where did you get that outfit? And he'll like on an offer right on the spot to buy it. Because I mean, look at it. This is crazy stuff. It's so cool.
And by the way, guys, this is film footage taken from the closed alpha version of Otherverse, okay? When you're talking about, you see the fluid movements, you see that stuff. This is when you're controlling your character, your avatar. It's going to be as lifelike as this is here. It is going to be fluid movements, right? This is what's coming with Otherverse. Look at the background, look at the books, look at all that stuff. Now, 0.35 ETH, you got the trunk, which you still own. You've got a trunk full of stuff. I believe it's 5 to 12 items you'll get in that trunk, right? So 5 to 12 different NFTs that'll be combined in there, where you can take them and split them off, sell them as one, sell them separately, whatever it is you want to do, or keep them, use them, whatever you want to do. But here's the key. If you're in the first NFT drop, 0.35, you got the second one only minting cost. Guess what? You're also going to get the third one with just the cost of minting, right? Which is the apartment. Now, I want to make sure everybody understands this. In a metaverse, right, the things that have done best in these metaverses is buying land next to, Snoop Dogg, or areas that are going to be high traffic areas. That's what determines it. Located right in the heart of Otherverse main concert plaza, okay? This exclusive and secure building overlooks the most spectacular commercial district of theaters, shops, nightclubs, and outdoor concert arena. I want you to get this. Building overlooks. So that means what? I can go to my window. I can look at my window and see what? The outdoor concert arenas, the events that are there. This is going to be the highest traffic area in the space where this is getting. No additional cost. So for 0.35 Ethereum, you're getting the trunk, 5 to 12 items with them having these particle effects, this rare stuff, as well as an apartment. Now, and there's standard apartments, guys. There are penthouses, right? There are these type of things. Now, guess what? I can keep my trunk and sell my apartment on the secondary market, right? I can take that NFT and put it up there for sale. Where it goes, who knows? Now, and another side of this is Otherverse is not going to be like a lot of the other metaverses where they're selling gazillions of land plots, right? This is the land that you'll be able to purchase in the main stadium area. And then all the major stores, event spaces will hold all the land underneath it, and they'll bring traffic to it. The goal would be to bring thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people into this space and have that go from there. The mint date right now is September 9th for the pre-mint, which you need to get on the list. You can go through their Discord and you can work your way up through levels and you can get put on the list, or you can be part of the Nexus ecosystem. Go to Catapult, much easier to do it that way, but it's special for our community and what we're doing. So it is here, guys, the Otherverse, one of 3,333. You're going to get one studio apartment, a studio, an apartment, a sub penthouse, or a penthouse. So I don't know what a penthouse will go for in the busiest, most popular central city in all of the metaverses. Again, that's my opinion. It's not there yet, but I believe it's going to go there. Wardrobe accessories with rarity function, flaming jacket, glowing hands, etc. A special watch, right? Different things. 3 additional Genesis 1 FNFT airdrops. I'm going to say it again, 3 additional Genesis 1 FNFT drops. Early access to future Otherverse collection drops. I want you to think about this. This puts you on the list. Otherverse is blowing up, and they go, hey, we're doing another drop. First on the list, in line to make that happen. How valuable would that have been for something like, some of the other NFT drops that have come out there? Beta access to the Otherverse and direct access to the Otherverse Discord community. By holding, this will allow you rewards both IRL and in-game. So this is, why do I want to have this stuff that you're going to get for people that are very active in the metaverse? Why do they want to have it? Because it's going to give them in-game benefits, right? So these are going to be very beneficial as it rolls out, and with the success of it, they could be tremendous. Each item serves as its own NFT and will be able to purchase or sell on the secondary market after Otherverse goes live. guys, these are incredible benefits. This is a great opportunity. Again, there's the FAQs on it. You can just simply go to otherverse.io, click on the FNFT button. If you know anybody who's, excited about Decentraland, right there's the button, FNFTs. You can also come up here and you can find it under the economy, FNFTs. It'll take you right to the page. The value that's here, I think, is far superior to anything else I've seen in the metaverse, because again, you're getting, minimum, even if you got the worst, I think it's 5 here. The one that's 6 items plus your apartment is going to give you, let's say 6 to 12, 14 different NFTs for 0.35 in the metaverse that has a team of people. The person running it is one of the top handful, right? Like 5 fingers on a hand. One of the top 5 people in the world when it comes to running metaverses, understanding them, where they're going, and the potential that's there for a metaverse. So again, it's incredible. I'm getting them, and we'll continue to move forward. Guys, we do not have Dawn. Somebody's asking about the Vegas TruBadger airdrops. I don't have Dawn on here with me, and she would have to tell you that side of it, but we are working on it. One of the issues, guys, and again, I love transparency. It's easy. When we were and I'm trying to figure out what we need to do there. When we were at there, the market cap was about $30 million. We said we're going to give away $25,000 worth. The price kept coming down because of the marketplace. Now we're at about 5.4 million. Do we issue that $25,000 in rewards out at the $30 million market cap? Or do we do it at 5, or do we do it at something in between? These are all things that you don't think about when you say, hey, let's do this, because we couldn't, the data, the information took us way longer to get put together. And then of course it was heading down and we're like, well, let's wait for it to come back up. So there's a lot of stuff there that needs to be decided on and done. We may put it out to a vote to the community through the voting software. We're going to start using that more here in the very near future. And really the reason why we haven't used it as much as we have, it's just the time to sit down and do it and put this together. This is a lot of work, guys, especially when you get stuff done as fast as we do when it comes to building assets and different things for the stuff that's there. And working through and holding hands and doing all the stuff that we do. So anyway, I assure you, there is no one that's not working 6 days a week, 7 days a week that's on the team. And there's nobody who's putting in an 8-hour day, any of those days when they work. Everyone's putting in 10, 12, 14, 16-hour days, sometimes even more. To make all this stuff work. So, all right. And yeah, and guys, I'm thank you, Nadia, for doing it, but we're here, we're on a mission. So it's, the thank you will come from when we create the massive results that we're here to do, and moving this stuff forward. So, okay. Further to Sen's question about Roundtable, is a crypto panel what I suggested in Discord to promote different crypto projects for thousands of crypto enthusiasts. We'll look at that, Sten, and we'll please somebody make a note of that, and then we'll have somebody reach out to you and we'll get more information on that. Okay. And we can go from there. So I appreciate anybody that has anything that you see. I mean, I'm not saying that we will do something with it, but if you see something interesting out there in the space, right? This is your project, right? This is your community. If you see something that's interesting, you can send it to us. We'll look into it. It doesn't mean that we'll do something with it, but we will look at it and see, yes, does it match where we're headed to and what's going on? It is our goal. We had the NAC that was formed in order to communicate well and get some stuff going. And we're going to work on possibly taking our voting system and having different members. So essentially, and what'll happen is you'll say, hey, I have knowledge in software. Okay. And we'll put it out there and saying, we're looking for 5 people in software to put them on a panel to begin to be like an advisory panel for the community. And then 5 people that have run businesses before successfully, maybe 5 people in social media, 5 in marketing, but put together a panel. It'll be up to the community, whether they're paid positions or volunteer positions on that type of stuff. But as soon as we get past Star Babies and Otherverse, those are our main 2 focuses right now. And they are taking up for the team, right? Probably, I don't know, let me see how many people. 1,000 hours a week, I think, right? To keep those 2 things moving forward. As soon as those 2 are moved forward and get past the launch dates and all that stuff and where we're at, then at that point, that'll become one of our core focuses, is getting some type of committee put together, figuring out, getting the voting system fully up and running, and then working towards getting some other software projects and things off the ground and get them going. Right now, because of market cap, volume on a daily basis, our resources are low in what's coming in every single day to do a lot of this stuff. And the companies that went overboard with their marketing and went overboard with their growth and their expenditures are having severe problems right now, continuing to move forward and continuing to exist. And we don't want to be one of those projects. We don't know how long this bear market will go for. It could be another month. It could be another 6 months. It could be another year or 2 years. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. And so we need to be very careful on the number of staff members that we have. And so that does make it tougher, guys, to get some stuff done. Sometimes people will be like, well, why haven't you done this yet? It's the resources. It's the people to do it. And you can't hire somebody for a day to do something, right? You need to bring them on staff, and it builds up, and it leads towards the possibility of us running out of resources. And I don't want to come back and beg to the community and say, please donate money, because we need to stay in business, right? We want to be able to do this under the resources that we have. And so we're going to keep moving things forward. We'll be back next week. We're here. As you can see, there's nobody on the team that's not here that started with us. It's actually a bigger team because we have Adam and we have other people that have joined it. Star Babies is still our focus, guys. Our goal is to get this. A lot of great people coming on board, not just for Star Babies, but for Stardom Chance, right? The success of Star Babies is the success of Stardom Chance. It's amazing to me, some of the people that look like they're going to get involved in this project. And if you were on today, we did a Twitter space. By the way, guys, please join our Twitter spaces, right? Please, please, please. I'm begging you guys. We're having Twitter spaces with 30 people, 35 people showing up. Please, if you can just jump on, you don't need to say anything, turn it down. Right, but at least be there to support them, because the algorithms and where we're going. Once we build a big following and a big Twitter space, then you can if you don't want to show up, you don't have to show up, right? But if we want this to be as successful as it is, we need people to show up on our Twitter spaces. But we're going to have another one on Thursday night, right, at 7:00. Correct, Rhonda?
Correct.
Twitter space. You can put it in your calendar. 7 p.m. PST. Okay. Another Twitter spaces. I don't know who's going to be on it yet, but I got to tell you, the people that are being attracted to this project right now, and will be attracted over the next 10 days when we're getting closer to the A-list mint and beyond that. And some of them, it's hard for me to believe that some of the people will be on. But today on that Twitter spaces, I talked about clubs, right? We talked about, it's like, let's say there's 2 golf clubs in the same city. The amenities are pretty close to the same. What differentiates those clubs? Who belongs to them, right? Who's in the club, right? So, and you guys know that when you talk about a club or any of that type of stuff, it's automatically the person is like, oh yeah, my golf club, this person's part of it and this person's part of it. Because the value in a club is the people that are involved with it. And matter of fact, if you look at the history of NFTs, what got them really to start building value? It was when somebody of notoriety purchased one of them and joined the club, right? They paid maybe more money for it because they really wanted a certain one and they had the financial resources. They purchased it, and then, well, guess what happened? Somebody else of notoriety saw that this person of notoriety bought it. So they said, I want one too. And they bought one. And now all of a sudden, this club had several people of notoriety in it. And then other people said, well, I want to be part of that club as well, right? And it continued to develop and it continued to build until they became what they are today, right? These phenomenal clubs that, you know, to be honest with you, the membership of Bored Ape Yachts, when it started, was $250. The membership today is right around $100 grand, right? At one point, it was up to $300,000 to just become a member of the club, right? What's it, Star Baby's going to do? I don't know. It depends on who joins the club, depends on how things go. But I got to tell you, there are some freaking big names that are looking at right now. One of them, the biggest boxer in all of Mexico. I mean, when you talk about, if you're talking about sports heroes, one of the biggest personalities in Mexico is already on board. Okay. He's already a Star Baby. He's on the A list, Star Baby's holder type thing, right? That's already happened. And there's going to be a lot more people named over the next 7 to 10 days of people that are becoming part of the club. Okay. So anyway, guys, lots of great stuff going on. We're going to continue to push forward. We never stop. We never quit. We keep pushing through the A-list day, the launch day, all of it. We're going to continue to push on MMAC. They continue to push. They continue to grow their Discord. They continue to move things forward. We're continuing to move things forward on NSI, on Safufied, on Green Citizen, on other projects that we're working on and doing stuff every day. Even if you don't hear about it, even if you don't see it, we're working in the background. And I'm not talking about a couple people here, dozens of people that are putting time, effort, and energy into making it happen. A lot of those are community members, people like Dr. Clark and Jody and there's just a lot of them, right? And Rhonda can probably read off more names than I can of the people that
Lovejoy and
Lovejoy and other phenomenal.
It goes on.
Crypto Cool, right?
Yeah.
Crypto Cool. I mean, there's just so many people that are doing,
always in Discord and always chatting and
pushing forward. So there are literally hundreds of people that are driving these brands and getting them going because they're community-based projects, putting in time and effort and energy every single day and where we're headed to and where we're going. And that's the most exciting part. Okay, so let's see, Drew, is the Twitter Spaces going to be through Nexus Twitter account or Stardom? We're doing them on Stardom, guys. So it will be on the Stardom account because that's actually, it's a Stardom project and it's a Stardom. So look for it in Stardom. We're talking about possibly, doing a Zoom live at the same time, and we'll broadcast the Twitter from there. But we really need the people on the Twitter account, right? We don't want people coming on the Zoom and just being on the Zoom. We really need people to, if you're going to come on the Zoom, also get on Twitter and, listen on one or the other device. But we need to get more people on the spaces and drive the spaces.
And I'll list a couple comments in the chat. So, can they be scheduled out in advance and can we put it on the calendar? One of the things about Twitter Spaces is we have to remain somewhat flexible and fluid because we're trying to draw in guests and bring on other projects. And so it'd be easy to say it's every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at whatever time. But you're pulling in guests and trying to get the right mix of people on this panel to have this fascinating discussion. So we have to remain slightly fluid. And so Marty put a comment, I'll just need to stay in touch more with to Discord. And that's exactly right. We'll start loading them up in the events on Discord. You'll always
and look at it. You know, it's hard scheduling. These are super successful people, right? Okay. These are people that are doing all kinds of crazy stuff, right? And it's hard to grab their attention. And so a lot of it is, you know, whether it's Jonathan Willis, 54 films. Think about that, guys.
Oh.
In 10 years, he's produced 54 films. That is 5 films a year. And these were not all, some were small budget, right? He talked about making films for $40,000, $50,000 in the Twitter space we did. But a lot of these films are 3 million pounds, which is about $5 million films, right? Major productions. And here he is doing 54 of those. And he's on our team. He's part of Stardom Chance. He's part of Star Babies, right? As a matter of fact, some of the speaking roles that are going to be for the people that get the NFTs are going to be in his films, right? We have other Richard D'Alessio. Some of the people are going to be in his films. Those are films that are being done over in other countries, right? Jonathan's is in England. So some people are going to say, hey, I'm going to be in a film. Hey, would you like to come to England and be in that film? Hey, yeah, that'd be a cool trip, right? Not only just to be in the film, but to be able to go over to England and do that type of stuff. So this is a very cool club to be a part of. Otherverse, a very cool club to be a part of. But here's the thing is, guys, you got to give it time, right? I would say 3 to 5 years. If you're gonna maximize the potential of anything you're doing, 3 to 5 years is what you're looking at in order for it to come together to provide value, right? I give value and I get value. I can't give value and get it right back out in a multiplier, because then I'm only taking away from the project. I have to give and say, okay, I'm going to hold. I'm going to be here for a while, let it develop, let those resources that I put there grow and expand and have those multiply, and then say, okay, now I'm ready to take some back off the table and move forward from there, whether that's, you know, putting your NFT on a secondary market, or whether that's, you know, cashing out of, you know, a crypto from a digital asset back to a fiat type thing. All of that stuff takes time in order to put it together. We're a little bit over a year old since we started this, you know, this whole adventure, June of last year. So we've got a little ways to go, but the key is we're here, we're moving forward, and we're building credibility in the marketplace. One of the things that's really, and I'm going to try to say this in a different way than I said it today. If you see the performance of the team that we've assembled compared to other teams, other groups of people, okay? And again, I can't say it the way I said it today, so I'm trying to get the words right here, okay? It is night and day, guys. It is not even saying I'm going to put my 3-year-old on the professional baseball team, right? It's night and day. The care, right? So meaning I really want to do a good job just because I want to do a good job, not just for the money. So the reason for doing it, the speed at which it gets done, the willingness to sacrifice and not go, what are you talking about? It's the weekend, right? I can't get that done. I'll do it on Monday or Tuesday or when I can get to it. So the urgency, the talent, when you put it all together, guys, there's just, it's amazing. And by the way, we're being recognized for that in many ways. So I talked to one of the groups we're working with. They cannot wait once we get this project moved forward, and it's with Otherverse. They can't wait for us to work on other projects together. That's what you want to hear. If you're involved with it, and every project we do builds value and resources for the community, then you want to hear that people can't wait to work with us again and continue to bring us other opportunities. I'm telling you right now, they will not do any opportunity in this space and not have us involved with it. That's how well or how much they appreciate and have seen the work that we've put into it. And they're saying the same thing I'm saying, right? We're having these conversations. How the heck do people look in the mirror because they make promises and they say, I'm going to do this, and they do a halfway job, or they don't do it at all, or they don't, and they're looking at it going, that's not your team. Your team gets it done. Your team makes it happen. Your team. And that's all the way across the board. Hundreds of people that are getting stuff done better than groups that are 10 times the size, supposedly the greatest in the world at what they do, right? The best at what they do. And this team, this community, right? Because it's not just a group of people here. It's a whole community of people that are involved with this, the core of it. A couple hundred people is far superior to the bigger numbers and the people that are supposed to be really good at it. And so for me, I look at it and go, wait a minute. If we're better than them talent-wise, if we're better than them with work ethic, if we're better than them with dedication and sharing, liking, commenting, right, doing all the stuff that needs to get done, then the ultimate conclusion is we should be wealthier than them at the end of the day, right? When this all comes together, because this type of stuff gets recognized, it gets noticed, and people then gravitate towards it as this moves from the phase it's in, the wild, wild west phase, to a phase that says, man, we got to have common sense here. We've got to have a structure. We've got to have understandings, and we've got to be able to take this to the next level. And that's where this market is headed towards. And moving things forward from there. So thank you for being here tonight, guys. I appreciate it. We will see you next Tuesday at noon. Will be our AMA next week, right? Noon PST, because we alternate off each week.
But we'll see you Thursday night. Or we'll hear
Thursday
you
night
Thursday night
right,
at 7 for our Twitter space.
Seeing and hearing, right? So one is seeing. We're going to see it. We'll answer more questions next week. We promised you a couple updates, right? One from Solar, and I think there's one or two other ones that we promised. We'll get those for you by Tuesday. So just come and visit with us, and we'll have those answers to those questions. Thank you again for being the absolute pound for pound best community that understands and cares about the impact that we have, not just in the crypto in there, but in the whole world and how we're doing things. You guys are absolutely the best.